How the heck are you, everybody? I'm Fastidious. Welcome to my channel. Krodor is nigh. It is almost time for the fusion. It starts in less than 2 days, so this is going to serve as my official ultimate preparation guide for the fusion. I want to help as many people as possible, so let's get right into it. What are we going to do here? We're going to answer a couple burning questions that people have been asking me about the fusion. I do have the answers now. I've talked to my dev contacts, plus they actually just released a bunch of stuff in game. You can see behind this calendar as I scroll. We have the calendar now, which is slightly unfortunate. It's fortunate that it's here, but it went live literally 30 minutes after I finished filming yesterday with my original All You Need to Know video. Still watch that. There's tons of good stuff in there, answering all the general questions about how these limited traditional style fusions work. But then let me show you guys. I'm going to throw this on display mode, get the calendar out of here. Look at this. We did all the math. Big shout out to PinkJezus and to Seamus. We calculated all the XP you need, all the promotion materials you need, all the gold you need. There are the numbers if you just need to pause it. I'll break it all down very shortly. Let's start off though with those burning questions that people have been asking me. So up first, can you fuse multiple copies of Krodor? Well, I reached out to my dev contact and got the answer last night, so I told some of you guys on stream, but they actually just announced it here inside the new event notice that came out today. So, number 2, 4 duplicates of Draga, 5 stars, 5th grade of promotion, and level 50 can be used to fuse one legendary hero, Krodor. And then in the red, the important thing answering your question, you can only fuse one Krodor during the event. So for those of you wondering what would happen if you got all the copies of Gogron and then maybe you got really lucky and pulled a bunch more, maybe you pulled some Draga and you had enough to fuse a second copy, could you? No, you cannot. You will not be able to. Now, going off that and addressing that summoning question, we have another line of text here that I actually find quite confusing. It says, during the reward redemption, you can still develop your duplicates of Gogron and fuse Draga and Krodor, but you cannot earn more duplicates of Gogron anymore. Please keep an eye on the event duration. So this is what I think it is. I think this is answering the question for anyone that saw my video yesterday. Does the fusion end on the 8th of April or the 10th of April? There's literally conflicting information in the game. I think what it's saying is once an event ends, you can no longer earn that extra copy of Gogron, but you can still build it up and fuse it until that fusion window closes, that being on the 10th, but the events will end on the 8th. I believe that is what this is referring to. Finally, do you have to summon to succeed in this fusion? And this is going to be our transition into our discussion of the fusion calendar. So let's pull up what I have named the Krodorlander, and you can see it's a nice fusion calendar. They always provide us with pretty nice stuff. If you guys want us to do our own fusion calendar, we can certainly try. I do think they're giving us a lot of resources in game this time, but we can make that trackable calendar if you would like. You can see on top, you're going to need 4 copies of Gorgon to get your Draga, and you're going to have to do that 4 times because then you need 4 copies of Draga to get your Krodor. So if we look here at all these events that they have outlined, there's a combination of 19 events in Oracle's Trials. That gives you 19 opportunities to earn 19 copies of Gogron. You only need 16, right? You're going to need 16 for each to make a Draga. So to get 4 Draga, you do 4, 4, 4, 4, 4. Now you have 4 Draga. Now you have Krodor. So that leaves 3 on the table. Well, this is really, really good news, right? Because if we look here, on the 22nd of March, we have a Spiritual Altar. On the 5th of April, we have a Spiritual Altar. Then down here, on the 29th of March to the 2nd of April, we have an Arrival of Heroes. Those are 3 Gogron and 3 summoning events. What is 19 minus 3? 16. You can skip all the summoning events if you want, and it's very likely I will do that. Certainly I'll be skipping this weekend, but if you're on top of all the other Oracle's Trials and events, you actually do not have to summon to get this legendary hero. And I think that's really cool. That is kind of unheard of in some other games we don't need to mention. I think this is really, really good news. I will say, if you want to summon, it's going to make it easier, right? Those are going to be 3 easy copies if you're thinking of summoning anyway. But for someone like me, where I'm definitely leaning towards, I'm not summoning this weekend, and we'll have to see about next weekend. I have heard some mumbles of what may be coming, but you know, if it's nothing too exciting, I will take that weekend off, and probably I'll take the weekend off after. We'll have to see. It's going to be still insanely doable. Insanely doable. You'll have to be organized, and we will help you guys with that. That's what the next part of this video is going to be about. But yeah, you don't have to summon, and I really like that. One final comment about summoning, and then we'll get into our fantastic calculations here and all our math. Again, big shout out to PinkJezus and Seamus for helping me so much. But people have been wondering about summoning. Can I just summon 4 copies of Draga and do it that way? Sure you can. But will you be able to? That is the question. So I've talked with a few Forerunner guys, namely Ray from the Dragon Slayers community, some other guys as well, and let me tell you, from when they did Krodor on Forerunner. Actually, Krodor's coming back on Forerunner in conjunction with this, so that's pretty cool. Shout out to Forerunner. But when they did it the first time, because this is the second time they're getting that fusion, they found it supremely difficult to summon Drega and Gagron, and that's even for people like Ray, who did tons and tons and tons and tons and tons and tons of summons. Why am I saying that? Well, it's very likely during the event, if they even do make these heroes available for summoning, which I think they will, their rates are going to be teeny tiny, minuscule. So do not count on that. You are going to have to plan around this calendar and try to succeed that way. Could you get lucky? Sure. Have some people already gotten lucky and gotten Drega from when she was accidentally patched twice? Yeah, absolutely. But this formal, traditional way of doing the events, that's going to be the way for the vast majority of us. I'm sure that will be the way for me. All right, math time, buckle up. I'm going to try to go quick. I tried to simplify everything. I think it's just about the big yellow and green numbers. So I'll take you through the thoughts, but you can just really focus on these big numbers, and those are kind of your goals of what to aim for. So if you don't know, you need to not just have those 16 Gagron that become 4 Drega, that become your Krodor, but there's going to be tons of leveling of those heroes up, promoting of those heroes, starring up of those heroes. So there's a lot of resources that are going to go into the fusion on the side beyond just completing, these events. You can do some of it in conjunction, like with the Corridor of Glory right in the middle, as you can see on March the 29th. But for tons of it, you just need to have to do a lot of prep, which you can start today, the second you see this video. So let's kick it off with the XP that you will need to get Krodor. So what do you need to get Krodor? You need 4 Drega and you need 16 Gagron. 4 times Drega at 5-star promotion, level 50. So that means you're going to have to get your hands on 4 Drega. They're all going to start at base level, level 1, no stars of promotion, 4 stars. You're going to have to bring them up to 40. You're going to have to star them up to 5 stars. Then you're going to have to bring them up to 50. Then you're going to have to promote them to 5 stars. You're going to have to do that 4 times, 1 for each Drega. Now for Gagron, it's a similar thing. You're going to get your Gagron. He's going to be level 1. He's going to be 3 stars. You're going to have to bring him up to 30. You're going to have to star him up to 4 stars. You're going to have to bring him up to 40. And he's going to have to be 4 stars of promotion. It's a lot of work, right? So we need to figure out all the things that we need. So starting with XP for Gagron, right? You're gonna have to bring up to 30 and then 4-star him. So that means we're gonna need a lot of fodder. You're gonna have to do 16 Gagron that you bring to 4 stars. So that's gonna require each one of those when they're at 30 will take 3 3-star fodder champions. So altogether, 16 times 3, we need 48 3-star fodder champions. You can see here we did the XP calculation that it takes to create a 3-star fodder hero. And this is all, by the way, assuming you're starting with all 1-star heroes. Common level heroes, 1-star, level 1. If you have some 2-star heroes, which obviously many people will, you'll get them through, your daily stuff, the way you always get your fodder. Obviously, the burden will be slightly less, but truly, it will only be slightly. It's still going to be a huge number, as you might have already noticed on the screen. So we can take that 8850, that 8,850 number that it takes to make 1 3-star fodder, multiply that by 48, and just for the XP farming we need for the Gagron fodder, that's going to come out at 424,800 XP. Moving right along, following the same stuff for Drega. Now we need a 4-star fodder for her, but we need 16 of those because there's going to be 4 Dregas that we have to star up to 5 stars. That's going to come out to, once we know that the 4-star fodder is just over 61,000 XP, multiply that by 16, that's nearly a million XP. A million XP to get your 4 Drega up to 5 stars. So that's going to be 984,800 XP. However, on top of just the fodder, you also need to level up your Gagrons and your Dregas. Gagron from 1 to 30, then star him up, and then 30 to 40, and then Drega from 1 to 40, star her up, and then 40 to 50. What's that going to look like? Well, let's start with Drega. To get her when she starts at base 4-star level 1, to get her from 1 to 40, that's going to be just over 127,000 XP. And then to go from 41 to 50, once you make her 5 stars, that's going to be another 143,250. All in all, just a hair over 270,000 XP. But remember, we need to do that for 4 Drega. So that's going to be 4 times 270,300, and we get just about 1 million. 1,081,200. No small amount. Gagron's where it gets crazy, because we need to build 16 Gagron, right? You can see you need 4 per Drega, but it's actually 16 per Krodor, because we need those 16 to become the 4 Drega to become Krodor. So to get your 1 Gagron, you're going to have to bring him from 1 to 30. That's going to be just over 42,000 XP. And then once he is at 4 stars, you're going to have to bring him from 30 to 40, and that's going to be 85,000 XP on the dot. This comes out to just over 127,000 XP, 127,050. Multiply that by the 16 you're going to need to make your 4 Drega and to get your Krodor. It's just over 2 million. 2,032,800. It's a lot of XP. Add these 4 numbers up together and we've got just over 4.5 million XP that you are going to need. And that is a ton. Keep in mind you're going to need even more because you're going to be completing the Krodor of Glory event. I will say, if you do this effectively and you're max leveling all your 1 and 2 stars for bonus XP, getting really sweaty with it, PinkJezus calculated you can knock out about half of the Krodor of Glory just with all the farming stuff you need to do for Krodor and Draga and Gagron at that point that it comes. So when we are at that point in the fusion, I believe I said it was on the 29th. By this point, if you have all these Gagrons, if you've been on top of everything, if you do all the XP, everything, you can knock out like half of that event. But you're going to have to keep farming more. You're going to have to, it's going to be millions and millions and millions of XP we all have to do. So no reason, if you got an XP bonus active, I actually do have one right now from finishing the Krodor of Glory yesterday. No reason not to take advantage of these things. It's time to start prepping. This is going to be, it's going to be intense. It will be super doable free to play, guys. I have no doubt about that, but you're gonna have to stay on top of it. It's gonna be something you have to stay organized with. That's why we want to help. So that's the hardest thing, I think, for me to explain. That's the XP. Big number. This is the big thing you need to know. 4.5 million XP. That is what you're going to need. Could be a little less. Obviously, it will be a little less if you don't have to use base 1-star fodder heroes. You could get some base 2-star, but it's still going to be over 4 million. There's no question about it. Now for promotion materials. Remember, this is going to be something you have to prepare. We have to get those 16 Gagron to 4 stars of promotion once they're all built and leveled up, and we have to get those 4 Dragas to 5 stars of promotion. Important to note, these are different classes of heroes. Gagron is a fighter, Draga is a defender. So you have to farm different promotion raids. So I can't just add these all together and say you need this many blues, this many purples, because they're different kind of blues. These are the melee attack insignias. These are the endurance insignias. These are the ones you have for defenders and healers. So if we look and we see per 4-star promo Gagron, you're going to need 4 level 1 insignias, the blue ones, 22 level 2 insignias, the purple ones, and 15 gold insignias, level 3. Then we know for Krodor, we're actually going to need 16 of those Gagrons ready, fully promoted, so we can multiply all these numbers by 16, and it's some big stuff that we need. It's not insane, but it's not that nice. We need 64 blue ones. I think a lot of us probably already have that stored up. Otherwise, they're easy to farm. You can get them in the market. You're going to need 352 purple fighter insignias, right? Purple melee attack insignias. And then for the gold ones, you still need 240 gold insignias for those 16 guys. Fortunately, he's a rare, so he is not so demanding per Gagron. But when you need 16, you can see the numbers are pretty big. Moving on to the endurance promotion materials for Draga, we only need 4 for now, but for a base Draga, just for the 1, not all 4, we need 6 blue, 40 purple, we need 57 gold, and we also need 2 legendary extract. If we then multiply all those by 4, in total, it's going to be 24 insignia 1 blue guys, it's going to be 160 insignia 2 purple guys, and finally 228 insignia 3 gold guys. On top of that, we do need 8 legendary extract. This is a bit more straightforward. For me, it's that 352 purple number for Gagron I'm not looking forward to. I will say, guys, if you do not know, max efficiency for gold insignias is going to be stage 15 of any promotion raid. So here, stage 15 promo melee attack, and then stage 15 promo endurance. And then for purple is going to be extreme 1. Those are going to be your best bets for max efficiency. If you need blue insignias, that's going to have to be stage 3 in whatever promotion raid you are in. I suggest whenever you see any of these insignias now in the market, you should be doing this anyway, but whenever you see any of them in the market for gold, just buy them up right then and there. Speaking of gold, how much gold is going to be required? This is the most straightforward thing. Also, guys, today is my girlfriend's birthday. Perhaps you know her as Soup. If you want to leave her a birthday message in the comments, I know she'd get a kick out of it. This is a part where I did all the math myself, not too complicated once you actually get into it. So these are the fusion heroes and the number of star ups we're going to have to do. If you don't know, there is a gold cost when you do star up a hero. So just bringing a hero from 1 star to 2 star, that's going to cost 500 gold. From 2 star to 3 star, 1,000, 3 to 4, 5,000. And then the only thing that's particularly steep is 4 to 5, 20,000. However, when you're doing many star ups, as you're going to see we have to do here, the numbers are kind of big. They're not that crazy. This is the easiest part that you can prepare for. I think a lot of us that have been stockpiling gold will already be ready to go, but here's the numbers just so you have it. So 16 times we'll have to do 3 to 4 star ups, right? That's for Gagron. That's going to come out to 16 times 5,000. It's going to be 80,000 gold that it costs. Then for Draga, 4 times we'll have to do a 4 to 5 star up. And you can see it's going to be 4 times 20,000, 80,000 once again. So all in all, to star up our 16 Gagron, and our 4 Draga to where they need to be, it's going to be 160,000 gold. However, we also need to star up all those fodder along the way. We don't need to get too deep into it. I already did the math. So we'll have to make 64 3-star fodder heroes for Gogron. That means 64 times 2 to 3-star star-ups. That comes out to 64,000 gold. Then we'll need 192 2-star fodders. That means 192 1 to 2-star star-ups. That's 96,000 gold. If we go to Draga now, we'll need 16 4-star fodders. So that's 16 times 3 to 4-star star-ups. 80,000 gold. You can see the pattern here. So with the 64 2 to 3-star star-ups that we need, 64,000, and then 192 times, once again, we'll have to do 1 to 2-star star-ups. That comes out to 96,000 gold. Let's add it all up for the fodder, and you'll see it costs 400,000 gold. There's another number here, though, because you're not just always going to be using, almost certainly, just base 1-star heroes as your fodder. You might also have some 2-star fodder heroes, right? So if you only use 1-star, it comes out to 400,000. If you're only using 2-star, it's going to be 208,000. Likely for almost everybody, the number will fall in between. So if we look, the total gold needed for the fusion, if you have all 1-stars, it's going to be 560,000 gold. And then if you have all 2-stars, it's going to be 368,000. Likely for most of us, it will be like 450,000, something like that. Guys, that is everything. I hope you feel prepared. To recap, for XP, you'll need just over 4.5 million XP. For promo mats, you'll need all of that. Take a screenshot if you need. And for gold, you'll need about 450,000 to 560,000 gold. I know when you have all these big numbers thrown at you, the fusion may seem overwhelming and like too much to even bother with. I promise you, this is going to be 100% totally doable, free to play. Just follow my videos, follow my tips, follow other creators. If you have any questions, let me know in the comments. I really, really hope this helped. Again, a huge thank you to Seamus and PinkJezus. This was a ton of work for us, so I hope it helps. Guys, share it with your mother. I hope she gets a Krodor, and I'll see you in the next one.
Fastidious.